not reliving the past here, but just saying across social media, I wanted to be known that I had an excellent time the first time we got a chance to do a show. You were fantastic,
Thank
beautiful as
you.
ever,
Oh,
full
thank
of
you.
a great deal of wisdom that I cannot pull back and make happen today because today's going to be better anyhow. So it's like,
Right. Yeah. I thought of all the positives. I was like, that was my first experience, I think, talking that much. I'm like, maybe it was good that it wasn't saved forever. Who knows? I don't know.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Just
I don't know. Yeah, that's kind of the way I was talking. My daughters came home and I told them what happened, and they were like, "I cannot believe that happened." It was like it just, and it was like I was so excited. That was your first time doing a live, I think, right? If I remember
yeah,
correctly. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. And so I put a lot of attention when it's somebody's first time ever doing a live. I mean, I do
It
them all
went
the
really
time.
well. I
Oh,
had
yeah.
fun. It was
Well,
it was
that's an
good.
understatement.
Yeah.
I've done lives with people, and it has their first, and they should not do a second either. But oh, I'm in trouble now. Somebody's gonna hear me say that.
Whoops.
But anyhow, today we're kicking off this. How can I put it? This opportunity for people to hear someone kind of walk them through um, taking care of their health. I received
Yes.
a number of requests now in the second season on both of my platforms for me to find someone, because people know I'll go find somebody. So I opened it up for people to make suggestions as to what they want to see. I gave up creative control in that sense. So they mentioned they wanted someone who was, as they put it, uh, approachable, knowledgeable, but not snooty. So
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
rounding. I'm kind of
Check,
putting into.
check, check.
There was a number of things they said, but I kind of rounded it into those three things, and I went like, okay, all right, let me see what I can do. So you are officially the special guest for the Open Session podcast page moving forward into all of our adventures in the future. As long as you want to do so, you are the first special guest in regards to fitness. I have a special guest when it comes to mental health and other things, but you are the first special guest. I had a fitness person on my narcabuse_TV page. You were actually supposed to come on before her, but of course the show never aired, and then
Whoops.
her, and then I was going to hopefully have a show which I can bring both of you guys together. So we'll work on that in the future. But
Sure.
today, everybody gets to meet you officially as the spearhead of fitness on our platform, which is under our production company, which is Rhythm Entertainment Productions. I wanted to say all of this in front of everyone, all 7,000 of you that are watching right now. I wanted to let everyone know that we are really excited to get an opportunity to do this again for one with you, and thank you for saying that you would come back and do this and
Sure thing, yeah.
not turn around and go like, I can't believe you lost the show. So um,
I would never hold it against you. Never.
I'm still holding it against me, and I don't do that. I don't do that. So I'm gonna go get some Chucky Monkey ice cream when this is done. This will be counterproductive to
Sounds
everything we're talking
good.
about. So,
Right.
um,
Hey, sometimes you have to have some ice cream. I'm all for the ice
that's right.
cream.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yeah.
You're preaching to the choir on that one, Lauren. So, Lauren, do me a huge favor. Could you please tell everybody your page, since you are our
Sure,
fitness
yeah.
special guest? Go right ahead.
So hi, I'm Lauren. My Instagram is at train.like.low, spelled L-O. My page is just about my fitness endeavors, some tips, some, I don't know, humor, just little tidbits, things that I think about that I get inspired about maybe at my work, or things that I think may help you with your training. And today I just kind of wanted to talk about beginning a fitness routine, staying motivated, staying consistent, and just like little tips for people to accomplish that.
Yeah,
Because
and
it's not always
that's
easy.
actually going to help. I apologize to step on you on that
No,
moment,
you're
but
good.
I wanted to let you know before we really get into it there are a lot of people that have said that they, like most of my viewers on both platforms, they may not come into the live most of the time. They really like to download the show off of Instagram's platform and then watch it as
Mhm.
many times as they want to instead of constantly going into Instagram. But many of them are beginners, not in the sense that they've never taken care of their health, but most of my viewers on this platform are victims or survivors of abuse, or they're on their sober journey. So
Mhm.
many of them are just starting back to realizing they need to be more self-aware about their health. So
Sure.
they just want to feel comfortable, and I think you're one of the most comfortable people to talk to and listen to
Thank
and to
you.
follow. They want to get with someone who will give them tips, that they can go to their page and get an idea of how to do certain things and then take it on their own. You're a perfect person for that.
Thank
So
you.
when it
Thanks.
comes to health, please tell me.
Mhm.
I'm thinking
I'll do my
about
best.
people being accountable. How can people maintain being accountable? By the way, our shows are not scripted, you guys. So if some of you may be new, this is like we shoot from the hip. So she trusts me. So she's gonna follow my poor brain wherever it goes. So when it comes to
Well,
accountability, what are some accountability tips?
sure. So that's one of the main things when you're starting out is like, how do I hold myself accountable for sticking to a program? And there's a few different ways. Not everything is going to work for everyone the same way. So you might have to try a couple things to see what really is going to work for you. And you might have to try a couple times at certain things, but that's okay. That's part of it. You just keep trying. But some things that work for a lot of people, finding a workout partner, that is a great option. Someone who's going to go to the gym with you, or maybe just go out and have a walk with you, in the middle of the day, a few times a week. Um, Anything like that. And it may be helpful too to find someone who already is really good at staying consistent and in a workout plan, and they've got their stuff together with fitness. That might be a good person to kind of use as a role model and use as your workout buddy. um, Somebody that's going to push you maybe a little bit harder than you want to
If
push yourself.
if someone has their pet, maybe they don't have someone, but maybe they can get something or some pet,
Sure, yeah.
maybe.
So I can relate to not really having a whole lot of people that want to
Okay.
work out with me. I mean, besides like my coworkers that,
Uh,
are into
eh,
fitness,
Come
not
on, what's
all of
the
my
secret?
friends.
What are you, Hitler? You're like Hitler or Gestapo or something? Are you really mean? Come
No,
on.
not at all. It's just that they maybe aren't as into it as I am.
Okay,
It's
all right.
just,
I
yeah.
just had to
But
ask. I'm just asking,
yeah,
but go
no,
ahead. All right.
no, I wouldn't do that to my friends. But yeah, now I lost my train of thought. No,
Well, when it comes to having someone, maybe you don't have someone with you, as you were
yeah,
mentioning.
right, right,
You
right.
have a
So
lot of
yeah,
friends.
so you could have, if you have a dog, you should use them as motivation. They should be getting walked every day, and
Okay.
so should you. So use that as your motivation to get
So,
outside,
all right.
and
Okay.
say you're doing it for the dog, but you're getting the benefit too. Um, And you can also join, some people like Facebook groups or other online communities you can use for motivation,
Okay.
sharing, tips and things like that, sharing workouts. So there's a little bit of camaraderie if everybody's kind of doing the same workout and you're like, oh my God, didn't that exercise, didn't that suck today? And
Right.
everybody can kind of commiserate a little bit. People really like that too. And it'll also hold you accountable. Like, okay, everybody else is getting the workout in today. Like, I need to join and I'm part of the group, so I need to do it.
What
And that
what if
works for people too.
what if you're got somebody as a role model, but they push a little harder than you would go? How can you strike?
Well,
How can that person strike a balance?
so I think that it's good to be pushed, but if you're being pushed past where you're comfortable being pushed,
Right. Right.
then maybe you just need to let the person know. Or maybe you just find a different workout partner. Just be like, I enjoy you. Maybe just not as a workout buddy. You gonna
We can
take it a
have a
little too
smoothie
far.
together. We can have a smoothie, but we can't do weights
Right,
together or something like. But
right.
so a person
Or
has
you
to
could
go at their own pace. Go ahead. You were going to
Right,
say, please.
exactly. Go at your own pace. Always be true to, yourself and how you're feeling with your body. But also, if you have somebody maybe that is a good accountability partner, like they get you to the gym, but maybe they're pushing you too far, maybe you guys just do different workouts when you get to the gym. Okay. Maybe they're just a good person to get you to that place or get
Right,
you to
right,
wherever you are going to work
right.
out. But maybe you do your own thing.
So,
Yeah.
so it's an accountability partner. I like the way you said that. You need a line of T-shirts to say that accountability partner, and or something like that. So, a little pins that people can pass out, kind of like a 12-step program. It's kind of like
A little bit.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. That's
Yeah.
kind of
Right.
what we're talking about. Essentially,
Mhm.
they may be able to get you motivated or keep an eye on you. So you can talk to them if you're feeling like all the Haagen Dazs has to go down 7 days in a
Yeah.
row, and they're
Right.
trying to talk you off the cliff. You know, you're trying to go like, I can make it up, and I'm going to eat all of these for the next 7 days. And you're like, well, maybe we should just go work it out instead of actually eat it out. So, or something
Right.
like that.
Right.
Okay. So accountability
Exactly.
is very important. At least that was something that was on my mind. But what else should somebody keep in mind?
Well, when you're touching on going at your own pace, like you said, I think a lot of people, when they're starting the fitness journey, they compare to everyone else they're seeing online and things like
Yeah.
that.
True.
Um, Comparison is the thief of joy. So, like, just try
Okay.
and cut that out right away
That's
if you're
another
heading in that.
T-shirt. That's another
Mm,
shirt. Comparison is
it's
the thief of joy. I love that. That's
it's
good.
the
Okay.
truth. It's
All
such
right.
the truth. But starting goals that kind of are where you're at. So you may see people that are doing crazy things, they're awesome, and you're not there yet. Don't let that discourage you from setting, smaller goals that are more attainable with where you're at. Um, I really liked this one thing I saw. I think it was on YouTube. I can't remember who it was, but it
Okay.
was the idea of setting three different goals. So you have your
Hmm.
mini habit, you have
Okay.
your medium habit, and then you have your larger habit. And you can make your
Okay.
mini one as small as you want. You can do like, okay, I'm going to do 20 jumping jacks.
Okay.
And if you have a habit that small, I mean, that's pretty easy, right? 20 jumping
Right.
jacks. Um, if you
For
start
most
doing that,
people,
for most people,
depending
for
on their
most people,
pace, but
and exactly, depending on their pace. But for most people, that would be like a
okay.
pretty good mini goal, right?
Okay.
And I could convince myself to do that most days. And when you say, or when you see that, when you
Yeah.
do convince yourself to do that mini goal, whatever it may be at your
Right.
level, you say, wow, I've been consistent with this. It kind of gives you a good feeling like you're
Yeah.
sticking with something.
Right.
Even
Right.
though it's
Right.
small, you're still doing
Right.
it maybe every day or almost every day.
Right.
And then you have like your medium goal, which might be something more like I'm going to go for a 10-15 minute walk, whatever,
Okay.
whatever your thing is. Big goal, I'm going to the gym, I'm doing a gym workout.
Okay.
And you'll just kind of like stack those up when you're having good days. You might do your larger goals, but even doing all those little ones each day, it'll just make you feel good
Okay.
accomplishing those little goals. And they do add up by the end of the month.
Okay.
And that's a good way just to kind of get the momentum going.
Now that is that the goal setting part that somebody can just look at those goals as being, how'd you say, like a small goal or a medium
Right, like a
goal
small, medium, and a
and
large.
a
Yeah.
large. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so you're gonna have to do me a favor since I've just instituted this 2 days ago on my platform via my followers and viewers. Um, Feel free at the end of the show today to put this information in the comments, but please make
Sure.
sure you tell them to talk to you. Don't talk to me because I'll be eating ice
Yeah.
cream and hanging out and eating donuts. So no, that's not true, everybody. That's not true. I wouldn't do that. I do it, but I wouldn't do that like forever. But what I'm asking of you is to make sure to put a few of those tips in there, and if they want more, just make sure they can piggyback or you invite them to talk with you
For
on that
sure.
because you are the special guest, and your page, Lauren, is.
It is at train.like.low. That's me. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, all right. So when it comes to setting goals, small, medium, and large, making sure, based upon what you said at the very beginning there, that we are being accountable and may need an accountability partner
Hmm.
or something like that. But
Hmm.
what if we struggle with being consistent?
So if you struggle with being consistent, really the way that you want to kind of get your perspective around fitness is you're doing it because it's good for your health. Um, you're going to feel much better emotionally, physically, be able to move your body. Activities of daily living are going to feel a lot better. Um, and I think once you get in that perspective, rather than looking at other people and wanting to look like other people or thinking all about just aesthetics, that'll give you more motivation. Now, staying consistent, I think it is starting with small goals rather than setting things that are too big for yourself. Like if I say I'm going to go to the gym and lift 6 days a week, that's probably not going to happen.
Yeah.
And if I set that goal for myself and I fail, I'm not going to feel great. And then that's going to kind of make me less motivated
Right.
to stick with it for the following week. So,
Right.
so setting those small goals, I think, is key to staying consistent. Doing just little bits at a time, little
Right.
tiny habits. Another helpful way to stay consistent or just to like get a habit down
Hmm.
is attaching your new habit to one that you already have.
Got it.
So you get up in the morning and you go to brush your teeth, right? I mean,
Hmm.
hopefully we're brushing our teeth in the morning. I hope. So
I go to the dentist next week. I think you'll have something to say about that. But go ahead.
hey, I'm not the best flosser, I have to admit, but always brushing. Gotta
Okay.
brush.
Okay.
So in the morning, we brush our teeth. All right, what would be something that would kind of go hand in hand with that? Drinking a big old glass of water. So before or after, you brush your teeth, whatever your preference is.
Yeah.
Attaching a goal or a little new habit like that to a habit that you already have is a good way to stay consistent.
Yeah.
And it takes some effort. You have to really, consciously think about that. It's not going to happen overnight.
Right.
But attaching those little things to stuff that you already are doing is a helpful way to stay consistent. Just kind
And,
of like linking
and
your habits together.
so linking habits together, the basic habits that we do to take care of ourselves and incorporating our health as a part of
Hmm.
those basic health habits, especially if we are in a funk or if we feel uh, blah, or maybe the past is creeping up into our mind. We're getting negative thoughts. Um, my goodness, Mo Fitness got some love for you on the screen, girl.
Let me know.
Momo's in the house. Okay, Momo's in the house. Hey, wait, wait, what? This is gonna be for Momo. Hello, Momo. The little kids love your appreciation of Lauren dropping bombs. By the way,
Yeah.
everybody, I do before whatever I was going to say was not important because this is the most important thing, and I totally forgot from the beginning of the show. I have to say thank you, Dr. Lauren, for being here.
I
I
was
totally
waiting for
forgot.
it.
I totally forgot. No, I have been practicing since anyhow. We'll talk about it another time. So just for the record, everyone, please, if you go to Lauren's page, and of course, if you know Lauren, you're all scratching your head, going like, when did she get her doctorate? When did she become a doctor? Well, Lauren is a doctor as far as I'm concerned. So I just want you to know, all across social media, after today, she will be officially on my page. All three, I have three technically, mental health pages. She will be considered a doctor of fitness. As far as I'm concerned, I have a ghetto degree, and I officially give her my ghetto degree and diploma of Dr. Laura. Doctor, I
Sounds
did it again,
good.
Dr.
You did,
Lauren. I'm sorry.
hey, yeah.
And I did that 20 times the last time we did. So Dr. Lauren, it's official now. So if you hear me saying that throughout the rest of this program that we're doing right now, and anytime I talk with her, I will be bringing up that I am talking to Dr. Lauren. So Dr. Lauren, we've talked about accountability. We've talked about goal setting and consistency. Consistency, leaking the basic habits we have of taking care of ourselves and also our health, kind of meshing those together so that we can start to see progress. But
Hmm.
progress not going to come overnight, huh? if
No,
we
no.
gained through stress eating, through living with a
Yes.
narcissist, through dealing with toxic people or family members or a boss, and we've been eating our stress, it's going to
Hmm.
take a while for us to burn off that stored
Yeah.
fat and the stress, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's many conversations I've had with my clients. It took time to put on the weight. It's going to take some time to take it off. And honestly, you don't want it to come off super fast.
Oh,
If you have significant amount of weight to lose, it may come off at a somewhat fast rate at first, and then you'll probably it'll mellow out. But
what's
if
significant?
it's
What's significant? If I got to ask that, I'm going to ask
uh,
that. So,
if you're in maybe the obese range,
oh,
medically,
oh,
then
okay. So,
rather than just having maybe 20 pounds to
okay,
lose, if you
all right.
only have 20 pounds to lose, it's gonna be spread out a little bit. And
Okay.
you're not gonna lose that 20 pounds in 2 months. If you do lose that 20 pounds in two
You mean
months,
normally?
yeah,
Normally.
normally you could.
Okay.
I'm sure you could. I'm sure it's been done.
Yeah.
I would definitely not recommend it, and you're almost surely to gain it back. Most people that gain it, or I'm sorry, that lose at a rapid, quick rate like that,
Hmm.
it's usually not through sustainable
Okay.
habits, and probably will fall back into old habits. And it's just you're trying to create a new lifestyle for yourself and new habits, and it's going to be a long haul. Don't go looking after the magic pill, the magic potion, because it doesn't exist. You're wasting your time.
So
You just
the quick
have to.
overnight stuff that a lot of people, it's sad to say, fall for and spend a lot of money on,
Mhm.
and not ain't gonna happen.
No,
No.
no. And if it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. And
So,
it may be doing something more detrimental to your
right,
health. Sorry, the
right.
dog's barking.
No,
I'm
no,
very
no. I love the
protective.
dog. My viewers love the dog. Anybody that doesn't love the dog, they can go to another channel. It don't bother me. I love the Dr. Lauren. You can do whatever you want. So if a person, let me see if I understand this correctly. If they've done the work of bending their elbows to bring the food up to their mouth, then they should have enough muscle to do dumbbell work, or to at least
Right?
to do
Just trade it out.
yes, do air, put the fork down every now and then, a little less, and do air dumbbells to start burning off some of the
Yeah.
arm flab or back flab and other things that we start to have. We can at least
Hmm.
start getting our heart healthy and not
Yes.
be overly concerned about the aesthetics. The aesthetics will
Right.
take care of themselves. If I understand what you're saying, it'll
Yeah.
take care of
Hmm.
themselves. Is that what you're saying?
Hmm. Most definitely. Yeah. You just have to be patient. Another quote that I love is a body that moves every day looks like a body that moves every day.
Not
Um,
bad.
with
Cool.
enough, time, but it's true. If you just intentionally move your body every day,
Yeah.
you're gonna be fit. It's just part of being human. We need to move. It's important for our hearts, for our muscles,
Yeah.
everything. Yeah, and that's
So
that's
if
true. Very
we're
true quote.
okay, so a body that moves every day looks like a body that moves every day, essentially, what you're saying. So if we sit every day, then our tuchus is going to look like we sit every day.
Yeah,
If
yeah, pretty
Because we
much.
don't sit on a needle, we sit on something that spreads out. So eventually, we're going to look like.
Right.
No, I'm just saying. If we Okay, see what you got into. I told you should. See, I was really nice the first time around. I'm getting worse as we go. Everybody says that. So, Dr. Lauren, what you're saying is, we don't sit on something that's pointy and small. It's flat and it spreads out. So if we sit all day, that's the way our tuchus is going to look, flat and
Yeah.
spread out.
Oh
But
yeah.
that may work for some people. But overall, if somebody is thinking about accountability, be having good goals, small, medium, and large, consistency, they're probably going to want to move their body so their body looks like it's lean or at least strong. I mean,
Right.
men are going to end up being lean and relatively firm and hard in their muscle structure or as they burn fat. Women are going to they're going to relatively be, as it were, firm, lean. You can't get rid of all of your softness. It's God
Oh
given.
yeah.
It's God
It's
given. So
right.
a woman
It,
shouldn't be scared to lift weights. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I
Not
just
at
wanted to ask
all.
that
Oh, you're
because
fine. Yeah.
people
No,
ask me
that's
that. Yeah, is
yeah,
it okay for a
and
woman to lift weights? Go ahead.
Yeah, a lot of women are a little skeptical or nervous, or they don't want to get bulky.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and I it's pretty tough for a woman to lift some weights and just get bulky overnight. I've been lifting weights for quite some time now,
Yeah.
fairly
So
heavy weights. I'm
you didn't
not very bulky.
scare
I
your
guess
boyfriend. You
maybe
didn't scare your boyfriend and turn around and look like a guy all of a sudden.
no.
Okay.
And I mean, and there are some women who do develop, more muscular physiques, but they are putting in a lot of work and a lot of dedication to that. Plus, their diet is just tailored to having that sort of physique. So, for the average woman to start strength training and become
Yeah.
like muscle bound and bulky, it's not going to happen. Um, Lifting weights is going to give a woman that toned look that everybody, goes for, says that they want. Toned just really means that you have built some muscle mass and that you are lean enough to see some shape of your muscle. Um, you have to lift some weights or at least do some sort of resistance, body weight, even bands, some sort of strength training
Hmm.
to build some muscle to get that toned look. And you have to be at a certain body fat percentage too. So, for most people, I would say, especially beginners starting out, I would really focus, and mostly anybody, I would just focus mainly on your strength training. Building
Okay.
lean muscle is also the best way to burn fat. So the more lean muscle that you have, you're going to be able to just maintain a better body composition. Um, and you kind of just want to sprinkle in the cardio as needed. If you enjoy it, then yeah, go for it. But when you're starting out, you don't need to overdo it. Walking, gentle cardio, just gentle movement like that. You don't need to be running
Okay.
miles or climbing stairs for hours
No
or
marathons right
no,
away.
no, not at all. Walking and a good strength training program is bread and butter. Yeah.
Something simple, something small, and then work their
Hmm.
way up to a medium, small, medium, and then to a larger goal.
Yeah.
But what if their perspective with food or just the way their motivation, just their overall perspective? Again, this whole conversation today is to introduce you to the platform and all of my
Hmm.
platforms. But a lot of beginners coming off of being abused by someone or getting their life back together again after a divorce, they want to get
Hmm.
into some type of training to take care of their body as they present themselves to the world again. Um, Wanted to hear from someone like you. So so let's go down this road. What if their mental perception or perspective is is still kind of troubled, or maybe they're struggling with their relationship with food, or the
Hmm.
way they view themselves because of comparing themselves to other women or
Hmm.
other men. Any tips on when it comes to their perspective for motivation?
Sure. So I would first you have to be aware when you're kind of in that mind state. So the first step is being aware of, okay, I'm in this headspace where I'm being negative to myself. I'm not believing in myself, or
Hmm.
I'm not feeling motivated to take care of myself. You have
Right.
to recognize that you're there, um, and kind of take a step back. And it takes practice. I mean, I've been there. I think most people have been there when you're not motivated to really do much for
Yeah.
yourself.
Yeah.
And
We
you
all
kind
go
of
through that. Yeah.
we've all been there. And I think, giving yourself some grace, not putting yourself down for feeling the way that you feel, and also realizing, okay, I'm in this headspace. Maybe I shouldn't trust the negative things that I'm telling myself. Um, Try to This is one thing that I try to practice is I try to pretend like I'm talking to my friend rather than
Okay.
talking to myself,
That's a good
okay? Or
idea.
like
Okay.
if your friend was,
All right.
witnessing the conversation that you were having with yourself, what would your friend be saying about this?
Right.
Probably would
Right.
not be happy.
Yeah.
Um, so it takes kind of sometimes maybe these little mind perspective changes, or just kind of self-awareness, like, okay, I'm noticing myself maybe kind of getting into this headspace. All right, I got to pull back.
Right.
And then doing something, oh, okay, I'm not feeling like I want to do a workout. I don't feel like eating the right things, like whatever. Choose just one thing to do for
Right.
yourself out of all of the things. If you feel like it's just all overwhelming, oh my gosh, just drink a glass of water. Like, choose
Oh,
one thing that will be good for you
right.
and remind yourself that you're doing it because you love yourself and you do want good things for yourself. That's at least my tip.
So make sure to choose. I think that's an excellent tip. To make sure to choose to maybe take a moment, be self-aware of the headspace, where you're going with your words that you're using to yourself that are
Hmm.
generating certain thoughts. But I like what you said. You said do one thing good for yourself. Like you said, drink a glass of
Yeah.
water. You can never
Hmm.
beat drinking a glass of water. Or
Right.
eat some fruit, take a walk,
Something
do something.
simple.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and wait it out for 10, 20 minutes. Usually
Yeah.
after 20 minutes, most things we think of, we'll totally forget about it. It's just
Yeah.
we
Most
waited out long
likely.
enough, even if it was
Hmm.
negative, it'll go away and a little hope will come through. That's
Hmm.
perfect, perfect what you just mentioned. Great tip.
Yeah.
Anything
Thank
else?
you.
Anything else?
Well, I also, I was gonna say before, one thing that works, especially for, well, I think for anybody, maybe if you like things or stuff or like to treat
Okay.
yourself to things,
Hey,
one,
that's me. Two hands up. That's
I
me.
mean, who doesn't like to
Yeah, yeah.
treat
I'm
themselves to things?
okay. Go ahead.
So,
What?
one way to help people stay consistent or help people stay on track, is by rewarding themselves once they get, a certain
Okay.
number of
Yeah.
workouts in. So
Right.
say, okay, I've done 10 workouts, I've gone to the gym 10 times. I'm gonna go get a pedicure. Or,
Ah, good idea. Yeah.
I did 20
Yeah.
workouts at the gym. I'm gonna get myself a new workout outfit.
Yep. Yep.
Things like
Yeah.
that are also
Yeah.
really, really good at helping people stay motivated to go and do their workouts. Now the trick, I guess, is just don't like lie to yourself and like go do, 5 minutes on the treadmill and
I
be
know
like,
what you're gonna
okay,
say.
right,
Like,
done,
I'm
workout
gonna go
done,
spend
check.
$200 now. Yeah, I'm gonna. Yeah,
Right,
right,
yeah. So
right.
you want
Yeah.
to be honest with yourself, but yeah, that was
Ah,
one little
I'm busted. I'm
consistency.
busted. You found out what I do. I did 3 push-ups. I'm going to go buy $400 worth of new clothes. Okay. Yeah, so a balance is needed. A balance is needed in everything that we do, because we can either go from one extreme to another, the majority of us. So a balance is needed when we're working
Hmm.
out. And I appreciate you doing this today.
Yeah.
For a lot of people who are, I call them beginners. A lot of people say they're starting over. I call them
Right.
beginners because they are trying to do it right this time out the box. They spent many years maybe taking care of themselves, got into a relationship, it went south or went a direction they weren't planning, and now they find themselves alone, or and the best friend that they have is taking care of their health. And so
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
really appreciate you doing this today.
Of
Uh,
course.
and I want you to know this show's gonna make it. I just want you to know.
All
No, no, no,
right. We'll
no,
see. We'll see.
no. Hey, what was that supposed to be? No, no.
I'm just
See,
teasing you.
you have no idea what has happened since the last time we talked. What was that? Been a couple of weeks or so ago now. We did
Hmm.
the show. There's been new equipment that's been bought. There's fail-safe stuff that went into play,
Okay. Nice.
so that no matter what happens, this show out of all the shows that happened in between, this particular show was going to not have any problems getting uploaded. No, I literally mean that. There's it's sitting right here. There's some new equipment that was bought just so that this would not happen to your Dr. Lauren show. So
I
so
appreciate it.
so I just want you to know. No, it wasn't me. My daughters are like, okay, no, we got to no,
Got to make sure that's not
we
going to
can that can
happen.
never happen again, especially to Lauren. Likable Lauren is not going to happen. So thank you for allowing me to call you a doctor. And
Sure.
I am going to do a few things on my end that you, of course, would never do. So I got to get me a stethoscope. I got to do because I got to be your assistant. So I got to give you a lab coat. I'm gonna do a lot of things when we do future shows together on tips, fitness tips. Next time we get together, we are hopefully we'll be able to spend some time talking more about different things individuals can do to get started. Dr. Lauren, she doesn't know this, but she does know this, is going to have certain things worked out for you so that this will be an ongoing series of tips that will come from her. But if you want the entire package of Dr. Lauren and all that she can provide, do not call me, DM me, and try to contact me. Will you please like, comment, share, follow her page, Dr. Lauren. I call her that. You can call her that too. But she is not
I
a
won't get
doctor.
mad.
It's only
Yeah.
as seen on TV, on Narc Abuse TV and on podcast, Open Session podcast. When she goes to other people's shows, she's not a doctor. She's only a doctor on my platform and around her own home when she's talking to her dog and her significant other. But make sure to like, comment, share, and follow her page. Feel free to ask her any question in regards to tips about mental health. I really appreciate you and what you have done by doing this and your videos and your page. I'm giving you a
Thank
break today
you.
because I was going to tear into your page today, but you did so good, so well. I just want to post this one and
Sounds good.
we start planning for the next time around. You were excellent. You were
Thank
excellent. A
you.
lot of great tips. Please feel free to type those in the comments at some point after this gets uploaded.
Sure thing.
Over the next 2 days. I appreciate it. Anything you'd like to say as a setup for the next time we get together, or that you want to leave for those who are beginning their new journey with their new bodies and a new life?
Well, I just want to say if you guys are watching and you have any questions at all, feel free to ask me. You can leave me a DM on my Instagram at train.like.low. I'm open to any questions you may have. No question is too small or too silly or anything, so you can pick my brain, all right?
Yeah. Ask her anything. It can be silly. She has no problem with silly and goofy. She's doing the show with me, so what do you expect, guys? Come on now. All right, everybody, show some love to Lauren. Dr. Lauren, thank you very much for being here today. Get used to hearing that. I told you, get used to it. I'm going to say it over and over. Wait, you can't leave yet. Hold on. Something just popped up on the screen. I just have to do this here. Make sure I do this right. You see the? Can you see the question from someone who just happens to ask a question? I've got. You know what? We're gonna have to get Mo and you on the same show at the same time.
That would be fun.
Yeah,
that would be a lot
fun.
of fun.
Open it up to just a question and answer on fitness for both of you guys. That's what we should work that out.
She's a great wealth of knowledge too.
You two work that out, and I will definitely produce it and direct it and pay for it, which I don't pay anything. This is free TV. But her question, Mo Fitness, is: do you do online training, Dr. Lauren?
I do. I can make, programs, coach you through your program, or whatever, fitness goals you're looking to adopt, and I can guide you on your way.
All right. I believe that what we're going to have to consider, Mo could consider this as well. I would love to be able to have an online fitness town hall tip meeting. That's not what I would call it. I come up with better names than that. But just an online discussion about health and fitness from online fitness trainers like yourself and maybe Mo. Even if we get a third person, I'm able to take phone-in calls. I can do a lot of things with the equipment that I have over here. So if you guys can work something out and you have a date in mind that you can make it happen, and my platform is available for that, we can do that on this open session format. And we can even take calls in as long as we prepare it way in advance. Now I'm telling, I normally say this stuff in private through private through. I know you're laughing. You go like, when is Paxton give away his show ideas? So if anybody else wants to try that, go ahead and do it. But it'll never be really good unless Dr. Lauren and Paxton are there. Okay, because we're a team. I just want you to know that right now. So if you and Mo work something out, by all means, let me know. I'm available to put anything up here that's on this public service channel for anybody to get for free. And then they can go back and talk to both of you. Thank you. And you have to tell everybody your dog's name, by the way. I'm looking at my messages over here. There. People want to know. Yeah.
So his name is Sobaka. That's my boyfriend's dog. He's a big silly guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Big sweetheart.
Wait, no, which way? Wait, which way? No, wait, which one you talking about? You said silly guy, silly guy. What?
Both.
Oh,
He's
you said both. You said,
he's both.
wait, the sweetheart. No, the big silly guy is the dog, and the sweetheart is your boyfriend. I'm trying to stick up for the
Oh,
guy.
oh,
See?
oh. There. I was describing the dog in both those words. I mean, I
Oh,
guess.
all right. That's a good time for me to end the show because I was trying to get him some brownie points here, and you just threw him under the bus. All right. Hey, dude, just keep taking the trash out. That's all I can tell you from experience. This is what my dad told me. Just keep taking the trash out. They'll fall in love with. They'll be with you forever. Kill spiders, take the trash
Oh,
out.
he's
Rubber.
won me over. He
Yeah,
doesn't need to
there
do
you. Hey, that's
anything.
right. Well, that's usually the way. Once you win them over once, you have to do anything after that. Just let them dress you and comb your hair and dress you up like a Ken doll. You'll be all right. All right, you've been the best like usual. This is like the pre-show I was in.
Thanks,
Just become real.
Paxton.
All right, you're awesome. Let me go do my job now, and make sure this gets uploaded.
All
Everybody,
right.
I love each and every one of you. Lauren, you're the best. Like, comment, share, follow Lauren. And matter of fact, for the fun of it, make sure that you check out Mo Fitness as well. All right, everybody?
Sure. Yeah.
Yes, everybody. We'll see you guys soon. Take care. We'll talk to you soon, Lauren. Bye-bye,
Bye.
Lauren.
See
Bye-bye.
ya. Bye.
So if you just really feel, if you close your eyes and you think of something that really angers you and feel how that feels in your body, and then go back to that moment where you were triggered, were you actually that angry, or was it the same feeling that you felt when someone betrayed you from 10 years ago, or maybe you were abused, maybe you were in an abusive relationship, maybe it goes way back, which it usually does, to childhood, where you're seeing this cycle that hasn't happened yet of abandonment coming into play, which hasn't happened yet.
How do you view the word affection from your perspective?
I'm incapable of experiencing positive emotions because in my world, positive emotions are intimately linked with negative emotions, and negative emotions are life-threatening or dysregulated.
Got it.
So if I allow myself to experience anything positive, the gates of trauma will open wide
For you.
What is emotional manipulation? It's the misuse of someone's feelings to move them to think or behave in ways they might not regularly do. Manipulation can happen regularly, daily. Emotional abuse involves patterns of gaslighting, love bombing, guilting, or humiliating. This is for informational and educational purposes only. This information does not constitute medical advice or diagnosis. A mental health expert, a doctor, is best able to help you find the information and care you need. Our live streaming network is committed to providing a safe and compassionate space for survivors to share their truths while fostering a sense of community and understanding. Join our NATV channel membership for $5.99 a month for members-only TV and live streaming events. Subscribe to NATV Network for more empowering content, heartwarming stories, and impactful discussions on overcoming adversity.
You will start to tiptoe, you will start to walk on eggshells to not make them create a conflict. So you will start to feed them with just enough attention so that they kind of keep calm. And you're in that eggshell, any moment the bomb can explode. They just want to keep the conflict alive for the sake of the conflict and for the sake of their attention and for the sake of your reaction. Because if your reaction was stoic, if your reaction was like, I couldn't care less, then the dance would become boring. But as long as that's for people who then separate, as long as you react in an angry way, upset, and upset is like a really nice way of saying it because you can get
Ballistic.
outrageous.
Yeah,
You can get like really.
They live for that. So a person could think, well, I'm justifiably upset and I'm going to let them have it. And actually that's playing into their hand.
Don't do it. Be upset, shout, cry, fight,
Go for a
get
walk.
mad, whatever you need to do.
Take your leave. No, stoic. I like the way you said that, stoic. That's a great word. It's a perfect word for that type of a situation because of the definition of the word. It adds to stability when we become stoic. It doesn't contribute to any type of trauma that or problems that are coming about. I'm sitting there, I'm thinking 50 billion thoughts at the same time I'm saying that. And I want to say them all, and I know I can't keep you all day, but I do want to ask this. If we're stoic and they're trying to crack us, because that's based upon what you're saying, they really want the drama.
Absolutely.
They live for it. They live for it. They want it to be a soap opera. They want life
Absolutely.
to be a continuous soap opera because they feed off of that. And
Yeah.
they will have manipulation tactics and skills that they've already acquired to make it happen.
Yep.
But when we're stoic, how, how can you keep your cool? Oh, so if we take someone back who's had manipulation tactics and played these games, emotional games, and they were fake, we cannot expect that they're going to come back and be real and not play games and not have tactics.
No.
They're just going to do more of it so that they can, well, keep the cycle going until they
If it's
find
been
another
strong
supply.
arguments, if it's been strong arguments up until the breakup,
Yeah.
it will be stronger arguments and maybe physical violence afterwards.
Wow.
If it has been financial disagreements, it will be financial control afterwards.
Wow. The abuse
know,
will continue.
The
but
abuse
worse.
will get worse.
What could your life be like if you gave yourself permission to start fresh? What if you chose relationships, routines, and traditions that truly reflected your values and brought you joy? By embracing new beginnings, we open ourselves up to growth, adventure, and a future shaped by intention, not by the weight of what no longer serves us. Creating a future aligned with growth. New beginnings are more about that than just change. They're about alignment. It's about building a life that feels like it belongs to you, not one dictated by expectations or outdated roles.
I think it was from our upbringing and all these cultural stereotypes from those movies, fairy tales, that love is something connected with pain. For sure, there is some suffering supposed to be involved, and you have to struggle, you have to deserve, you have to overcome, and all those extreme and outrageous feelings.
Further out you get, the further out I got, the more I could appreciate the little moments of peace. It's like little glimmers of hope. And then those little glimmers turn into hours, and then days, and then weeks. And now I'm getting months. So don't ever think you can't get out, or don't ever think it won't get better, because it will. I promise you it'll get better. How does doing inner child work help you? I mean, obviously you understand it. Why? Right? Because you were groomed for this, pretty much. We all were. Mm-hmm. But what do you do? Like, what kind of inner child work do you do to maybe start having the memories? What if they're bad memories, like you said, before you were 5? Is it important to go back and try to find them?
It's not, as what I've learned from my experience and even talking to therapists and stuff, it's not as important to find out the exact information that the left brain is so like hungry to know. We want to know exactly what happened and where and who and how. That's the left brain. We're intellectual, we know facts, we know all this kind of stuff, information. And it was hard for me to get past that. I think it took me all last year. That's why last year was so hard for me, because I was trying so hard to figure stuff out. And the harder I tried, the slower it got. It was like the art. It's like the art of not forcing, right? I was trying
Yeah.
to force it. I'm that person. I'm so determined. I want to figure it all out. I'm sure you guys can relate, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It drives you crazy. You make yourself nuts.
It does. And it slows the process down because of that. It really does. Because when we're manifesting and we're moving on to a better part of our life, we're not forcing. We're allowing, we're going in that creative flow. And that's what part of those things I've learned about the inner child work. That book I read out of a lot called The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron. That book, I started reading and doing exercises from it when I started acting classes years ago. It was like late 2012 for me. And if I hadn't started then, good Lord, where I would be now. Because I remember my son was 2.5 years old. I'll never forget. And I was like, if I'm going to be the mom I need to be, the person I need to be, I need to do something for myself now. So I took myself out of, the house and the marriage and everything that was going wrong. And I put myself in acting classes. And that's where I learned about the book and about like breathing exercises and learning how to use my imagination again and connect with a scene partner and tell these stories through the acting scenes and actually get to play with those emotions, whether it was totally devastating, sad, depressing scenes or like super silly, like comedy sketches. It was from one extreme to the next. And I got to bring it all out.
Transactions, stepping stones. Those are the two words that come to mind when I think about what a narcissist is actually seeking in a quote unquote relationship. A relationship to them is a transaction. It's literally, what can I get or gain out of this person? And what types of things these people that I'm, this person that I'm with, they are a stepping stone. They're a stepping stone. Okay. When I met my ex-husband, let me tell you something. Ladies, please listen up right now. Listen to what I'm going to tell you. You do not take in a bum man and help him out. Okay? You do not take in a bum man. That man was looking for a place to live when I met him. Wow. He was in between getting out of a relationship with his ex. He was living at home. He saw an opportunity with me. If he did not live with me for the 5 years that he did, 6 years that he did, he never would be where he is now. Okay? So he was using me. All right? He was using me, using my parents' apartment, where he was paying next to nothing to live there, while he was becoming a bum and just finding the next person he was going to. So he got his real estate license and was able to do what he did because he was living off of me and my situation. So this is just the truth. This is what they all do. They live off of other people. You're going to know you're in a narcissistic relationship because you are not going to be acting yourself. And you're going to feel it. Other people are going to feel it. And as Dr. Pepper here, 76, just worded it, absolutely correct. As they go up the chain in, going from what I call like an ignorant narcissist all the way to a malignant narcissist. When you get into the category that you're considered a malignant narcissist, you actually get off and have a good time and are elated. You go to sleep at night knowing how many people you have destroyed. That's what's in their head. They actually think about this. And I could give you proof of how I know this. They enjoy hurting people. They enjoy destroying lives. They enjoy watching your world flip upside down under their demise, you're their slave, and they enjoy it. They enjoy watching good people that have actual self-esteem, self-confidence. They enjoy watching that person just completely lose it underneath their shenanigans. And they view that as powerful. They get power. They think that they have power watching good people suffer under their hands. And so you have to understand, if you find that all of a sudden
who you once were, you don't recognize her or him anymore in the mirror. You're looking at yourself and you're like, where is she? Where did she go? And your friends and family are noticing this. You're more quiet than you normally are. You're not interested in the things you once were. You're letting yourself go. You just want to sleep all day. You're depressed. You're anxious all the time. And this is when people start like, it gets, see, they're living on the dark side. So they want you living on the dark side with them. They enjoy this. They enjoy it. And it gets dark, you guys. I mean, if you are listening to this podcast, you have to understand it gets really dark. This gets spiritual, where you're like, doctors can't help you. Doctors are going to put a mask on the situation by just pumping you up with all these medications. And you know that old saying, Paxton, if before you diagnose yourself with depression or anxiety, take a look if you have any a-holes in your life that need to go. And that's what we're discussing here.
Who you're associating and hanging out with is what
Yep.
you're saying, right?
Yep. You got to take a look at who's in your life first before you're ever going to say, oh, it's a me problem. It's not a you problem, you guys. Guarantee it. It's a one-sided relationship, a one-sided transaction. It's what this is that you're going into. But the main thing you guys have to recognize is that's what they're seeking, is total control. They're going to do anything they can think of, and 9 times out of 10, you're going to find that somebody in their home did that to them. All right. Or on the opposite end of the spectrum, or sometimes it's a mix of two. They had a parent that completely spoiled them, let them get their way 24/7. So they don't understand. They're delusional. They don't understand social norms, or they don't understand that they can't get their way 24/7. Once they go out there into the world outside of mommy and daddy's. And a lot of times they had the narcissistic father that was just pure evil, doing evil things to the child. And the mother felt sorry. And the mother was like, oh, no, and never punished them, never gave them consequences for their actions. So what did they learn? I can do all these things, and there are going to be people out there that are going to placate my behaviors and accept me for who I am, type of deal. Jealousy and anger. They have to have rage all the time, and another narcissist is going to provide them with that so they can continue this sick cycle, dramatic cycle together. Or they're going to find it. They're going to eventually find a doormat. Okay, we hope and pray. And guess what? More and more empaths out there who are us, basically the people that found my channel, that are finding your channel, Paxton, they're the ones, the educated empath are the ones to be feared. We're the ones to be feared because we're actually their favorite, but they don't have access to us anymore. Because guess what? This information is spreading like wildfire, and they're not getting it. So incredibly selfish. And this is them. This is what we're describing. And it's that, the whole pride goeth before the fall. That's what's going on here. The selfishness leads to the pride. They're not going to do that hard work of looking within. They're not going to do it. It's too much work. If you've ever watched a narcissist in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, actually try to go to a therapist, actually start trying to go to a men or women's group, or start going to church, it's just like people, just like anything else. There's going to be a shelf life for that. The time's going to be up at some point.
They can only do it for so long.
And what I do to other people, especially intimate partners, but not only business partners,
Okay.
what I do to other people is that I objectify them. I take away their vitality. I reduce them to a function, an instrument, a tool, a device. I make them lose the ability to conceive of themselves as separate entities with rights, wishes, preferences, priorities, and so on. I assimilate and digest them. I body snatch and mind snatch.
They can't keep that up. It's too much for them. They don't want to do it. They want to go back to what's easy. They're lazy and they have to go back to what is comfortable for them. And that's these low vibrating behaviors. They can mimic emotions. And that's the worst part about this. Let me just say, that is the worst part about these people is, you think in the beginning you've met somebody that's just like you. Every narcissist that has ever come in my life, I thought was like my ride or die. I did. And this is why I really try to hone in on and teach people that you have to take a very long time to get to know someone, because they're all doing this. They're just mimicking your personality, and it's not who they really are at all. And that's what's scary, because how can you blame a target of this type of abuse when the target has no idea what was coming for him? Not a clue. I didn't have a clue all the time. And I thought I was smart. I was working with victims of domestic violence in my 20s. I was working with people that came out of jail. I don't know if you knew that, Paxton, but I used to help people find jobs. I worked at a company that was a vendor for the state, and they would come in out of all sorts of programs. So you're talking shelters and jail and a DCF and you name it. And I saw all this with my own eyes. And I used to say to myself, what is wrong with this woman? She must have no self-esteem. And there I was in the middle of a narc relationship, not even having a clue. When they come into your life, you will feel like you're being heard, you're being seen. Wow, like someone really appreciates me, recognizes my talents, my strengths, helps me during my weaknesses, doesn't judge me. They are literally the ideal partner when they come into your life. That is horrible. If you think about it,
Total setup, isn't it?
it's an absolute setup.
It's a con.
Yes. And every step of the way, they know what they are doing to you. For many that know my story, I went from one narc to the next, and I went through 3 of them, and that lasted me all of my 20s and all of my 30s. So you young people that are listening to this tonight, please heed my warning. You're going to waste precious, and I'm talking precious years of your life trying to basically help a bum. That's what you're doing. They're bums. I'm telling you guys, my ex-husband wouldn't be anywhere he is, if he did not have the resources he had from me to be able to be where he is at. He would never have been.
I can only hope that you can hear me.
I can hear you.
You ready to do this?
I'm totally ready. Let's go.
All right. This is exactly what people were hunting me down for. And then I went on this scavenger hunt of talent, because that's
Love
what
it.
I do.
All right.
And I found you.
Love it.
So I want you to know I don't do Pilates.
Never?
I just wanted to start the show off. I have, I probably did. Maybe it wasn't called Pilates. It was in the Stone Age days when I went to school. You can't relate to that.
Oh,
You're still 19. But what I was going to say.
Totally, absolutely. Absolutely 19.
Absolutely. So let me get myself in here and just get this like this. Thank you so much for waiting for me as I got everything ready over here. I appreciate your patience and your kindness.
Absolutely.
You're a stylish lady, man. I checked out your page quite a bit, and then I went like, I don't even know if I've got the nerve to even ask this kind, generous, athletic person to be on the show. I said, maybe I should be eating pizza and a donut while she's talking to me. I was going to do it. I really seriously.
No.
I was going to do it. And then hold on one second and just get a thing of ice cream and just be talking to you while I go like, yeah, we should all stay in shape, and we should really. And I said, but it doesn't fit me because I don't eat like that. So it's just,
I'm glad you don't eat like that.
no, hey, so are my daughters and my heart.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. Give a little bit to everybody as to who you are.
Okay. Hi, everybody. I am Tila Anderson. I am a Pilates teacher. I'm a teacher of teachers, so I certify other instructors. Master fitness instructor, mother of two, human being, very down to earth. It's pretty much me. Yeah.
I'm going with the very on that.
Yeah.
I got you on the down to earth stuff. You got that. You got that well. I enjoyed the show prep with you.
Yes,
because,
me too.
You endured letting me talk. So hold on one second. I'm going to do something here. Do that. Okay. So I get the rest of my monitors up because I can see you all over the place now. You're like all
awesome.
over the room. You're the Pilates queen.
Love
all right.
it.
Let's do something.
Yeah.
If you had to describe the difference for those that do not know, without starting a war between Pilates and yoga.
Oh, you're going to get me in trouble.
I thought about doing it, and I said, no, I'm going to let her do it. Because I don't get hate mail. So.
Yeah, that question can, well, first of all, I'm actually glad you asked.
Let me rephrase that before I do get mail. The difference, I should say. I didn't say one better than the other. Let me clarify that before I get myself in trouble.
Yeah, so there is a difference between Pilates and yoga. They are two very different disciplines, although they are both, let's say, a discipline. So they do have some aspects in common. They both require a mind-body connection. And they both, I would say, work you from the inside out. That's pretty much where it stops. Pilates, a lot of people don't know, there is a man named Joseph Pilates who is the creator of the Pilates method. We call him Uncle Joe very fondly.
Wait, he's still around? He's still around?
No, he is.
Okay.
He's
wondering.
long gone.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We have what we call in the method our elders who actually did train with Joseph Pilates. Sadly, most of those elders are also recently deceased within the last 2 decades. But so there was a man named Joseph Pilates, and he actually did study yoga. Along with a lot of other methods of conditioning. He studied martial arts. He studied circus arts. He was a very, very interesting man. And he created his method of training the body, which is what we now call Pilates. We have contemporary Pilates, and we also have classical Pilates. I teach classical Pilates, which is basically the work of Joseph Pilates as he taught it. And there's a little bit of a war that goes on between those two styles. Although I think they're both amazing, they're both valid. I just choose to teach the classical method. So, in a nutshell, Pilates is going to condition your body and focus on your core muscles. But in general, it is a full body workout. Joseph Pilates made and even patented his own equipment. So we use his classical equipment to this day. And so if you find a classical Pilates studio, you will find all of Joseph Pilates' original equipment inventions.
Oh, all right. Now, he had equipment and inventions that are still being used today?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. He was a creative genius. I would say that he basically created what I call the first home gym. You remember Jack LaLanne? Jack LaLanne.
Oh, why you want to do that? Why you want to go like that?
But I'm saying,
okay, I get what you're doing. You're trying to be nice to senior citizens, but that was messed up. Yes, I do remember him.
Yes, listen, I loved me some Jack LaLanne, but
no, I grew up on him, so that's what I was going to say. Go ahead. You were going to say something.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So even before.
Wait, I'm sorry. I apologize to you. I know some of you who are regular here. I didn't do this. Little roll call. Shay, hi back to you. Carlo is here. Chelsea Jules. That looks like Marla. Okay, everybody, you can put in a fake name. I'll go with that instead of calling you by your IG name, which is like way good for somebody as old as me. Tracy at the studio is here. And, of course, Dana from High Ground Coaching, who will be on the show sometime in the near future. But a little love out to all of you. If I missed your name, I'll circle back. All right, go ahead.
Awesome.
You were
Thanks for
saying,
joining,
please.
everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I basically want to say that Joseph Pilates pretty much created the first kind of home workouts, home gyms. He was a genius. I really think he was ahead of his time. He was a genius. Um, he even made things like the breathicizer, right? Understanding that we needed to
No. Time out for the guys in the back row, especially us men. Although, what must I, what?
so one apparatus that he made and patented, we call it the breathicizer, and
Okay.
it works on basically deep breathing, right? Getting the lungs to expand, getting all that oxygen in the body, getting all of the
Okay.
air out of the body. So he was just ahead of his time. He really was.
Wow.
And I mean, he basically believed that you are only as old as your spine is young, meaning that, if you're inflexible at a young age, you're basically old. But if you're old and you're flexible
Oh,
and you're mobile,
yeah.
you're young forever. And he's right.
Wow.
As
Okay.
as we age and we get more inflexible, we have less options, right?
Yes.
Um, so, and I dedicated a very large part of my career to teaching seniors. And I really watched how people aged. And it's true. You could have somebody who is, let's say 75 years old, that's in way better shape than someone in their
That's
20s.
15 years away from me. I just want you to know.
No.
So I got some work to do. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
But yeah, you can be fit at any age, and he proved that to the world because he remained fit in his 70s and 80s, and his technique is amazing, and that's why I choose to teach it.
That is awesome. Okay, you've opened up my brain with your can opener of thoughts. So you just made me think differently. You're getting some love on the screen. I don't know if you know that, so feel free to talk back to those beautiful people, especially my Ann_Crosby_, who is a regular here, along with a few others that are here. Shay also. Thank you very much. And you're getting love from, that looks like that says Zulg.
Yes, that I know who that
Did I get
is.
that right?
She yes. She's one of my followers. I believe you might do aloe moves. I'm not sure, but I know who that is. Yes. So hello.
Oh, awesome. There you go. Hey, talk to your friends and family and followers.
Yes.
By the
Thanks for
way, this is
joining.
free TV, everybody, and we're showcasing the diva of the day. The only guest for the day, on purpose, is Tela. So wait, I did say that right, correct?
Tila.
It's Tila. Okay.
Tila, yes.
Tila is here, and so I did not plan for anyone else to be on today but Tila, so that I could make sure to ask her some of the dumbest things that I could possibly think of, because I don't do Pilates, so the show is really for me, everybody. Okay, I got to get one a year. That's for me. This was for me, where I get to ask questions, because I have never done Pilates, though I've heard a lot of people say, as you get older, you should really do it. But
yeah, I really do say this. Pilates is something that I think everybody, and I mean everybody, should do at whatever capacity they could do it, whether it's just getting your own mat practice. Once you put in the effort to even just learn the mat exercises, they're yours, they're free. You can take them with you everywhere you go. You can do them anywhere, in a hotel, in a park, where I am right now,
yeah.
And basically, the reason you want to do Pilates is because the technique, I always say Pilates is like magic, right? You have a lot of people that will come in with back pain, knee pain. Oh, I've had this pain for 2 decades. It's never going away. But anyway, I heard this is a good conditioning. And they do it for a few months and they say, that's really funny. I haven't felt my back pain in a few months.
Okay.
And it works like magic. It conditions the body from head to toe. A lot of times just in its nature, taking care of imbalances that we have in the body. And imbalances are really what's going to cause you an injury of some sort or pain of some sort, right? Like if you're more flexible on one side than the other, you're more likely to get an injury. If you're stronger on one side than the other, you're more likely to get an injury. And through the method, that is mat and all of the equipment, it is really a method. It's meant to go together. You start to correct those imbalances naturally. And there's no part of the body that is left untouched, and especially when it comes to fitness, everyone thinks, okay, like I'm going to do my biceps and I'm going to do my quads and it's all of the bigger muscles. But when you do that, you create a lot of imbalances in the body because you ignore the hundreds of other muscles that we have in the body that are supposed to work together and work functionally. And so Pilates takes care of that by just working everything, working from the inside out, especially.
I am officially converted to be a lover of Pilates. I
Amazing.
will today do my in-depth investigation of what I need to do. And I know I will always be able to call on you because the imbalances, I want to get to that.
Yeah.
What are some of the imbalances someone can experience? Now,
Oh my
some of
gosh.
you,
Well,
I just want to tell everybody that, especially those who will see this later, and some of you who are joining, passing through, whatever the case may be, yes, we do talk about abuse on this particular channel, this platform. But also on this platform, we talk about fitness for those who need to maybe start to put their energies toward that as they deal with a toxic person. And I don't talk about that kind of stuff. I'm not an expert on any of that. So we have experts on throughout the week and numerous times. Today is Pilates Day. So go ahead. You were going to talk about some of the imbalances, but you got some on the screen too. Ann just said, would like to try this. What about curvature of the spine? Maybe you can address that after you make a point. You were going to say something there.
absolutely. So there are so many imbalances you can have in the body. I personally avoided knee surgery and back surgery from just doing Pilates.
Wow.
Yeah, amazing, right? And also a diastasis recti surgery, which is after you've had children, you can get a separation in your abdominal muscles, and it can be quite large. And mine was so large that they actually did want to do surgery. And I said, wait, let me try my secret weapon, which is Pilates, and I stuck with it, and I did not need surgery. So that's 3 surgeries I've been saved by. And so some of the there's so many imbalances you can have, but let's say something simple like my knee injury. Most likely what caused me to have an imbalance is being stronger on the outside of my quadricep and not strong enough on the inside. So then your knee starts to track wrong. And when your knee starts to track the wrong way, right, you're more likely, when I was dancing, you're more likely to turn one way and your knee might go the other because it's unstable, right? It's unstable on one side. So that instability caused me to go down in a dance rehearsal and not get back up.
Wow.
Yeah. So I went down and I did not get back up. And I also did not walk for 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah. And I was supposed to have surgery. And something just didn't sit right about the surgery. And I kept thinking about it. But what happens when you are a group fitness instructor and a professional dancer in New York City and you injure your knee, you become unemployed. And then you become unemployed and then you get some problems with your health insurance. So I had to postpone my surgery. And in postponing my surgery, I decided to pursue my love of Pilates and get a certification. And, about 6 months into my certification, I didn't need knee surgery.
That's amazing that you were able to experience that. Now,
It
most
was
people
really amazing.
rush out to get the surgery. They don't see it as an option to try to strengthen, realign, or readjust the way they are balanced.
Yeah.
But that's important to make sure we're balanced.
Yeah. And as a dancer too, I know that, my body is my tool. It always has been. I was an elite gymnast, professional dancer. So jumping to surgery is definitely not something that I ever really wanted to do. Especially even with my back surgery. I had that injury since I was 17 and there's nerves involved. So, you risk some things when it comes to surgery. Including like with my back surgery, paralysis. So I've never been one to jump to surgery, but I definitely did not expect Pilates to get me out of knee surgery. I really didn't. I went into it just thinking I needed to switch my career to something that I could teach while actually speaking and not actually doing, right? So not as a dance teacher, I have to do it. In Pilates, we speak mostly because it's a mind-body connection. I want the person that I'm teaching to understand in their body as opposed to watching my body do it. They have to find the muscles and the way to do it in their body. So in Pilates, we mostly speak. We demonstrate when we need to, but we actually try not to demonstrate. And most classes are done just by me speaking to the client and then doing and thinking internally and focusing their eyes on their body.
So when it comes to curvature of the spine, yeah, feel free to pull that down because
Absolutely. And so
those
I
are some
think,
beautiful trees behind you, but I don't want to talk to them. But also, I'd rather get more of a shot of you. But anyway,
yeah.
what I was going to say
So
is,
when it comes to curvature of the spine,
yeah,
I think what it was Anne, right? I think what she's
yes, it was Ann.
asking, yeah, if I'm wrong, please let me know. But I think what you're asking is if someone has scoliosis, and scoliosis, there's two different curvatures you can have. You could have a C curve, or you could have an S curve. The C curve being the more common curve, the S curve being, I don't want to say more difficult, but more of an
Challenge.
issue, a lot more of a challenge. A lot of times, those type of curves will end up with a surgery, what they call like Harrington rods, where they will brace the spine so that it doesn't continue to further curve or degenerate. But in any case, with a curvature of the spine, Pilates is amazing. Now, you know, Pilates will not fix the curve in your spine. There's no way to do that. You know, you will always have a curve in your spine. But what you will do is when you have a C curve or an S curve in scoliosis, you have an imbalance in the muscles in the body. Usually one side's very strong and the other side is more flexible and weaker.
Sciatica. She said she
Sciatica.
has sciatica.
Sciatica. Okay, so yeah, sciatica is a different story. That's not scoliosis. But to finish up on scoliosis, Pilates is going to be amazing because it's going to work both sides into a more, the musculature anyway, into a more balanced state. Therefore, it helps to continue the body in a more, let's say, balanced way and help lessen further degeneration. Which, and to be honest, you have to really do watch when it comes to scoliosis because you can have a curvature that's degenerating and actually pressing on organs and create and lessening space in the body. So you definitely want to do some type of corrective exercise that's going to help you maintain what you have and not further degenerate. But in any case, sometimes that requires a doctor. Sciatica, on the other hand, is a different story. Sciatica is when you have irritation, inflammation in the sciatic nerve. I had that during pregnancy. It
Oh, wow.
hurts a lot.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it really can be a pain. I want to say a pain in the butt because it actually is. It actually is a pain in the butt. It actually is a
I
pain in the
think you
butt.
might have a point there. I
Yeah.
think you might have a point there.
So, but yes, sciatica can be helped with Pilates. There's a lot of modifications that would need to be done, but yes, we deal with sciatica. Yeah.
When it comes to people making the move from sitting on a couch and eating a bunch of ice cream to going to go do Pilates, what are we talking about here?
I say this. They say this to my people. I just need you to show up. Just show up.
Okay.
Like even if you just, put the ice cream down and you show up, show up as you are. Don't wait for the perfect time to try to do Pilates. Don't wait till you think I'm in better shape to do it. No. Pilates, and I do promise you that is the Pilates promise. Pilates will meet you at whatever stage you're at, wherever you're at, and it'll take you from there. I've been not, I'm not maybe not eating ice cream on the couch, but I've been where I couldn't walk, right?
That would have been kind of rough as a dancer.
Yeah. I was eating carrots really, but but really, like, don't think you have to be in any state other than whatever state you are. Just show up and keep going. And Pilates will give you something, I promise. Pilates has given me so much more than I ever put into it back to me. So,
yeah, especially saving you from surgeries. I just want you to know that Anne no doubt appreciates what you said to her, but she does want you to know it's been a long time since she's had babies. So she can't feel that pain that you were talking about. She stuck that in there. So I wanted to make sure she got it in the show because she's making a point there that she didn't have to worry about the whole baby thing. So as a mom, you have been able to help a lot of your clients. What is it, if someone here today needed to make some step toward improving their life and they chose you to help them on that journey, what is it that you offer to them and this audience and many more that will see this, that they can connect with you and, improve their life by having you in their corner?
That's a question. Okay, well, I would say number one, I am a human being. I'm very down to earth. Um, we could say I've been through a lot in life, and I've gotten through a lot of those things. I've gotten through a lot of things, yes, with the help of Pilates, but also just with the mindset of, no matter what's going on around you, eat good and move, no matter what, and um, like some people may, in the audience, I've been in situations, where things were not always bright and happy, but the two things that I continued to do was to move and to eat well. Um, and moving being for me Pilates, the discipline of Pilates, and that's the thing is, you just have to, in my opinion, you have to practice what you preach. And
Sure.
I've done that, and that to many people that come to me, that's an inspiration to them, is that you practice what you preach no matter what else is going on.
Yeah, you speak of the mind and body, as it were, getting in touch with that. Um, This cannot be fully experienced and achieved unless somebody does that. Then they have to be able
Absolutely.
to listen to their body, their mind and body working together to feel every ounce of what they're doing. Anne puts this on the screen. Did you find your back was more painful in the morning? She just wanted to ask you that.
Did I find my back was more painful? At some time, yes, sometimes. That first step, sometimes out of bed, was a jolt. But there are stretches and things that you can do at night before you go to bed. But in general, yes, I would say there were times where that first step in the morning was pretty painful. Yeah.
I have to say, I don't know if you have one. Do you? Do you have a merch line? Do you sell any type of merchandise or nothing like that? T-shirts and stuff like that?
It's funny
No, I
that you
mean
should.
your own.
Yeah.
Not an affiliate, but or a sponsor.
No,
But
it's funny you should ask. So, yes, but that's in
because you know
development
you
right now.
should.
Yeah,
You
that's.
should. You said a lot of things right now. I would hashtag in a heartbeat. I just haven't told
Oh,
you.
I love that.
Maybe in private, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
But
So, well, in response to that, I'm actually opening up a studio in the next few weeks, and
cool.
it does have its own merchant line. So look out for that,
Cool.
everybody.
Cool.
That ribbon cutting is coming soon. So
Okay, so you'll
be looking
have
out for that.
to make sure I stay, in tune with that, so that I can
Absolutely.
post that on my page, so people
Absolutely.
can make sure that they can check that out.
All right, I would love that.
I'd love to promote that. What I need to ask you is this: you are a person who looks to pull no punches when it comes to what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Take care of whatever needs to be taken care of. Paxton, how did you know that? I just know stuff.
You did. I know. How did you know that? You did know that.
I got friends. So I'm just kidding. I got friends in the FBI, the CIA. No, I'm just joking. One day I'm going to say that, and they're going to show up at my door while I'm doing the show. And I'm going to be screaming, I was just joking.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
And they're going like, well, we not kidding. We take it. We want to know who your friends are. All right. So when it comes to your life and the things that you have experienced, when it comes to your body, you're quite aware of what needed to take place, especially if something surfaced.
Yeah.
You needed to do what you needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Make the adjustments as you needed to make the adjustments. When it comes to your looking back from this moment back on your life, what adjustments have you experienced and needed to make when it came to your personal relationship?
Personal relationships, yes.
Or romantic relationships.
Yeah. So let's say I've learned a lot along my way. Let's just say that. It's been a journey.
I love the way you said that. It's like if I had the time to tell you, but the earth would stop.
I've learned a lot. I really have learned a lot of my journey. Maybe the biggest lesson that I learned, I'm going to try to say this correctly, it would be to not let your past circumstances predict your future. Living in the past, I was definitely guilty of living the past, and creating relationships based on past, let's say, traumas. Yeah. So we could even say, I had the father that was married to my mother and walked out for milk one day and never came back, true story.
Okay. Yeah.
But I did come to a place in my life where I realized that I was letting a lot of my current and future relationships, I was basing it off of what someone else had done to me.
Mhm.
And, that's not a healthy thing to do. So, really letting go of other people's mistakes in my life, let's say that, understanding that you're learning how to understand that your emotions are very, very powerful tools. And if you want to get where you want to get in life, and you want to be in control of your life, then you have to be in control of your emotions.
No, please, you were going to say something else.
And really be okay to sit with your emotions. But I honestly learned how to almost look at what's going on, look at the situation, look at your emotions.
Right.
Now choose how you're going to react. Don't just react.
Got it.
Look first and then react. Those have been some huge lessons that I've learned over my time. They're hard lessons to learn,
Yeah, well, the lessons that you speak of are definitely going to help, as I know, the huge audience that watches these shows that are put on, because nobody comes to watch me interview people. They come to, no, I'm being honest, they write me and tell me that they come and follow the page and follow the shows because they're interested in the guests, and they learn from what they say. No doubt what you said is going to help somebody. What I find unique and special about you is that you're open to understanding not just your body, but how your body interacts within this planet, with everyone else.
Oh, absolutely. That's a big thing.
Yeah, why is that about you? I mean, I noticed that about you even before we met. It's on your page. The way you post things and the way you say, what you comment, everything shows that you're trying to be as aware as possible of who you are and understand it, and you want to give others the same opportunity to a measured degree. But you're very future focused.
Yeah. I guess it's part of it is just probably where I've been, where I've come from. But also as a teacher and as someone who has worked, I literally been a teacher since I was 18. I won't give away my age, but it's a while.
It's not bad for 3 years.
So, right? Totally. So I've been a teacher for a long time.
Right.
And I'm definitely what you would call an empath. That's for sure. But in teaching, and especially in teaching someone's body, you have to understand that people's emotions are attached to their body, right? Their physical being. Right. And I do a lot of hands-on work with people. And I just over the years, I've come to really understand that, number one, I have to be in charge of my energy, my emotions, and my words, because they affect somebody. And, you could say something to someone just the wrong way, not even meaning it in a bad way, but they could walk away and cry for the next 2 days, So I really, at some point in my young career, started really learning how to listen to people, how to read people. And I don't mean read them as in, I want to know what their emotions are. Just taking a look at someone, you can tell what space somebody is in. And I change my focus based on what I see from someone else. I mean, you have to understand that we're meant to interact with each other. We're meant to have relationships. I've had many, many, many different relationships over the years, and I for the most part, I cherish them all. For the most part, I cherish them all. They've taught me something, and I hope that they've taught them something. But I take the way that I talk to somebody and the way that I touch somebody in a very special way. I believe that whoever I talk to, whoever I touch in a day, they should walk away from me feeling better.
Yeah.
Right? And not worse.
No, that's true.
And so it's an energy exchange. And so I really do make sure daily that I take care of my own energy so that I can take care of everyone else's that comes into my space.
Yeah. And it no doubt shows when you are working hands-on with somebody in your classes. And no doubt, child or children, I'm going to say if I say this correctly. You have one or two more? You have more than one?
I have two.
So your children, no doubt, will benefit from that, and they'll be able to have a sense of emotional stability because of your being grounded. Because understanding people I mean, we could try to figure people out, but the best part is just understanding where they're coming from, especially
Yeah.
if they come into our space of existence.
Mhm.
They're there. If we can understand them. It doesn't mean it's always going to turn out the way we may want it to. They may not.
Absolutely.
They may not work well within our space of
Mhm.
existence. They may want to be somewhere else.
Absolutely.
But
And all
that's how
that's fine.
relationships.
That's,
Yeah,
yeah,
that's all.
that's,
Yeah, it's like
I have no
good. Yeah,
problem with that. If there's somebody else for you, go. It's, it's,
yeah.
I mean,
It's
a
like,
relationship
no,
has to,
really, let me
right.
help you
Yeah.
with that.
A
No, let me get
relationship
out of the
has to,
way.
right. I mean, a
It's like,
relationship has to
take
work
the
both
cake.
ways. So, um, but definitely, I always come to think of it like, you don't know what's going on in someone else's life, and you don't
Hmm.
know,
Yeah.
someone could walk away from you having had the worst day, the worst month, the worst year, but feel just a little bit better. And I remember times in my life where, things in my life were not good, but it was always the kindness of others, someone else's touch,
Hmm.
even in
Yeah.
a Pilates class, the way someone would touch me, it makes a big difference.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's been an honor and a pleasure to talk to such a very thoughtful woman as yourself.
thank you.
And now I am going to do better because I feel imbalanced now. I think about it more, and so I'm going to be more. You think I'm joking around? So you taking me serious? Look at the look you're giving me. You're like,
Honestly,
he's so funny. What's he
I'm gonna
talking?
hold
What's he
you
going to
to
say next?
this.
Oh, now, come on now. You're not supposed to say that in front of everybody. Don't do that because somebody see me eating chips and go like, "Hey, Paxton, that's not what you promised the other day." All right, so when it comes to what you do and your studio that's going to be opening, by the way,
Yes.
everybody, she's outside for a reason. She's outside for a reason. Go ahead, tell them why you're outside.
So, as luck would have it, on today's
Like, well,
day,
okay,
they
yeah,
decided that they were going to cut the sidewalk in half while I
yeah,
was about to
going to
go
do the
live.
show.
So,
Yeah. So,
out in the
hey,
open air now.
prepared and skilled. So you
Yeah.
can't beat the two, okay? And the
No.
only thing you can add to that is talent. You got all of that. So it's just prepared,
Well,
skilled,
thank
and
you.
talented. So
Thank
so
you.
I appreciate you doing this. I appreciate
I had a great
that
time.
I went on this journey and saw so many different people to choose from, and you immediately stood out. And I was like, okay, she's got to say yes. I always say that when I find somebody, but I don't just send out 50 billion to everybody. Systematically just look for a person. So I'm doing pretty good. I got 98%,
Listen, I loved it. I was
hit
very
rate.
happy.
So
I'm
thank you
grateful
for
that you
doing
reached
this.
out. But also thank you. Thank you for the work that you do, because as soon as I looked into who you were, I
That's a frightening
instantly,
thought. I'm just kidding.
I instantly was like, this is someone I would love to sit down and talk to. And I love what you do on your page.
You're kind.
It's
You're very
amazing.
kind. And I'm glad that you're able to do this because it's been probably about 60 days now that I had nine, 8, 9, 10 to 12 people around in there somewhere. Was like, hey, you're talking about health, lifting weights and stuff. I'm into Pilates, and I was like, okay. I was like, I didn't
And
think of that. No, I was
now,
totally went like,
yeah,
hey, you got a good point there.
yeah.
Everybody does yoga. None some of the stuff I got, these were Pilates lovers. That's why
Hmm.
the name of this particular episode is Pilates lovers,
Yeah, I
because
love it.
they were like, hey, like, what about us? And I was like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm not discriminating. I'll put that on.
Yeah.
It's not a problem.
I
I
mean,
just got to find somebody.
Pilates people tend to be pretty, we are Pilates people. We're basically ride or dies,
Yeah,
right?
I know that.
Um,
That's as close as I got to being trolled was by
yeah.
Pilates people. So,
But I will say
runners,
this,
right? The runners community is second. So they,
that is true.
they're
That
very
is true.
serious also. Oh, by the
I
way,
used, yeah.
Anne's giving a thank you, Anne. I'm sorry, look at on my
Oh,
monitor off to the side.
thank you.
Thank you, Anne. I thought that was for all of us. Thank you, you're a sweetheart. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much for saying that. To make the chocolate man blush. Thank you. Okay, you were saying? Go ahead.
No, I just was going to say that anybody can do Pilates, and everybody should do Pilates. Runners, weightlifters, people that do yoga. The thing about Pilates is it's really, I look at it this way. It's the foundation to everything else that I do. I do run. I used to be a long distance runner.
Uh,
Um, I watch it nowadays as I'm getting older with this still, 18-year-old knee injury.
Yeah, right.
So, I don't,
Being 21, 22, yeah, it's
I
rough.
don't run
Yeah, it's
50
rough.
miles a week anymore, but, I
Oh
usually,
man, you're
I
gonna give me
usually
a heart attack just saying that.
yeah, I
Okay, go
used
ahead.
to, and that's even with,
Wow.
my torn meniscus never went anywhere. I just kept it balanced with Pilates, and I still have today. So I'm still able to run, do HIIT classes, ice skate, dance, teach dance, and
Yeah.
I attribute all that to just having a Pilates practice.
Wow. You are an example of moving on in life, no matter what the challenge is, whether someone's tearing up concrete in front of your brand new studio, and you adjusted to going outside and doing this and not canceling and everything. I appreciate it immensely. And I need you to do me a favor. Consider this. If you come
Yes.
up with something great, but I didn't think of this ahead of time, so typical guy, spur of the moment. I just thought of this. For if you come up with anything that could be valuable to the audience here, approximately 3,200 people overall on our platforms, but there are a lot of people, I may have mentioned to you in the show prep, from the IGTV community that download the shows and puts it on their own servers and watches the shows. Feel free at any moment to type into the comments any offers that you normally have or what you're going to do in the future. Uh, People may be in your area that watch the show. So I want them to know that they need to reach out to you. Not that they
Absolutely.
can, that they need to reach out to you. Okay? I talk different to
Absolutely.
my audience. You don't have options. You need to go support all of my guests. Like, comment, share, follow, and give them money. So like, comment, share, follow, give them money.
Yeah, give the money. I love it.
Yeah,
All
give
good
them money.
things.
So please do that. Feel free to, if you come up with anything after I upload the show or anytime in the future, when you find the show on my page, just go into the comments, put some information in there. How can people find you? Which also you will need to put into the comments after I upload this, so they can make appointments with you. Or I don't know if you do online stuff or not. Or do you?
Yeah, absolutely.
Is that
So
right?
I do online live classes.
Okay. Got it.
Every week I do those. I do mat classes, and I also do equipment classes for people that do have equipment available to
Okay.
them. Yep. So I do live
All right.
classes. And then I will have my studio opening coming up, which I will also be still offering all of my live classes, but now also in person. And there's a lot of good stuff coming in the way. So mentorship program coming out,
Ooh.
merchandise coming out. So
Yeah.
I have a lot of good things on the horizon, and I'm really excited about them.
Love it, love it, love it. I am down for promoting it. Matter of fact, you're getting a So Amazing and a whole lot more on the screen there from, what was that, P-Cham or PC Ham?
Oh, yep.
Got it? Okay, so you
Yep.
get
PC
some love on
Charn.
the
Yep.
screen. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Is that
PC
what it says?
Charn. And then Joel. Hey, Joel.
Okay, so everybody
And
has, look,
that would
they
be
showed up for
Peter.
you.
Yes, they did.
Who else do you know on there? Who else do you got?
Let's see. I know Peter. I know Joel. Tally joined. Hey, Tally.
There
Um,
you go. Don't give
yeah,
a shout out to.
there's Helen's Pilates. Yeah, there's quite a few people that I know on here. Hey,
And
everybody.
that's
Oh,
a good
Sonia's
thing.
here. Hey,
Loving the
Sonia.
support.
Hey,
Loving
Sonia.
the support. Ann says for beginners, does it take long to get more fitter, or in other words, flexible, if a person's a beginner?
Oh, hey, Lewis is here too. Hey, Lewis. It does not take long. That's the beauty of Pilates, is it works right away. That's the Pilates promise, you will feel better in 10
Mm-hmm.
sessions.
Wow.
In 10 sessions. In 20 sessions, you will look better. And in 30 sessions, you'll
Wow.
have a brand new body, basically. So there's
Wow.
really there's nothing that should stop you from starting Pilates wherever you're at. It doesn't take long. You will see and feel the results immediately.
Well, I love just having things pop into my head and doing things for the moment, and because the answer no never scares me, so feel free to say no. But if you happen to have any specials you want to offer to our audience at any point, feel free to type that in the comments. They would be happy to latch on to that. Put
Absolutely.
down the pizza, everybody. Put down the pizza, step away from the ice cream, and spend that same money with my guest here today. So make sure you do that. Man, all these people coming on, they love you. All these people, I'm serious. I'm watching it scroll on the screen. This one's
Love it.
bigger than looking at the phone, even though the camera's over here. I'm just saying. Following, Joel says following Tila. I'm not going to mess up your name.
You got
Tila
it.
for years. Love her.
Yeah.
Okay, so hopefully, okay, followers, okay, you guys that follow the show, come on, don't be cheap. Don't make me look bad in the neighborhood. Come on. One of you got to go there and do it. If not, I'm going to have to sponsor one of you guys or do it myself. But everybody, please show support for our guest today. Wonderful teacher and even, better person. Okay, you can't beat that. Because some people are excellent at what they do and they're just like really hard to get along with. You've got you don't have that problem. So you're being loved right here on the screen is what they're saying.
And I
So
appreciate all the
everybody,
love. Thank you guys.
yeah, look, I mean, they're not. Hey, wait, I'm not done. They're still going. So teach a will you teach a conference workshop? They're asking next year.
Joel, that's a great question. I know that I taught for the Global Pilates Alliance. I'm not against teaching for the PMA. We'll see. We'll see. But I will be teaching some workshops coming up and doing some mentorship work. So Joel, look out for that. It's coming.
Okay. Because you said do you certify instructors?
Yeah. So I've been teaching teachers for about 14 years now. So previously I had been working for other companies certifying teachers, but yes, I've been teaching teachers, certifying them in the Pilates method for about 14 years. And that's part of my job that I absolutely love. I really love, I love taking people through the journey of doing something new, something they may not think that they can do. And, you know, a year from now, seeing them teaching right beside me. That's one of my favorite things about teaching teachers.
That I also find special about you. It is obvious. It's easy for people to care and love for other people when that's natural for them. But you care for people and you love the very thing you do. And then you have this added thing. It's kind of like bacon. Not that you eat bacon, but
I do eat bacon sometimes. But
bacon goes with a lot of different things, and so bacon is like, oh, when people have bacon, it's like, ooh, it's got bacon in it, and you're kind of like the bacon. You're like, ooh, she's gonna be there. It's like so you have a way in which you like to also teach. You love people. You're very skilled at what you do, therefore you love it, and then you like teaching people.
Absolutely.
So that makes you like the perfect person to teach instructors.
I do really love what I do, and I absolutely do love teaching instructors. And like I said, it's I always say they're just like it's like a little piece of me over there. It's building community. You know, these are people that come and a lot of them don't think they can be a teacher. They they want to try, and whenever you put yourself into a new situation and not knowing how to do it, especially getting in front of people and be,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Just watching that transformation of someone going from being a student to being a teacher is a very special thing, and I'm grateful that I get to do it. There's teachers all over the world that I taught, and they're and very successful, and I love in my heart knowing that I was a little piece of that. I like that.
There you go. You are officially, based up on Narcabuse TV network, you are the bacon of Pilates. Hashtag Pilates bacon.
Hashtag Pilates bacon. I like that. I might use that. Hashtag Pilates bacon.
Please don't mention my name when you do, because if it goes nowhere, please don't. Matter of fact, if it goes somewhere, I don't want credit either. It's all yours.
That's hilarious.
But, last thing I want to get to here, I'm going to be get to Joel here, because Joel is asking. Hold on one second. I got to go over here. Got to say hi to who just joined in there. Joel says, you teach yoga and HIIT too. Do you use Pilates as your prism to teach those other systems or fitness modalities?
Great question. I actually started my career when I became a personal trainer and a group fitness instructor since I was 18. So I've actually technically been doing that longer than Pilates. So yes, I do teach other modalities, not as much as I teach Pilates though. But when I do teach the other modalities, I always suggest people do Pilates as well. So most of my clients that do personal training with me, I actually make them do Pilates.
Okay, I was gonna end the show, but now I know you're gonna say something. I gotta cut into that. No. Okay, so let me make sure I understand you correctly. They must add the modality of Pilates as a part of their core of taking care of themselves, is what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely.
The reason you do that so that others understand, if they've never been a personal trainer or anything like that, the reason why you do that is because, and there is a beneficial reason. I can see it now without a doubt. But why would you say that?
Yeah, a couple reasons, but the main reasons is number one, I want people to be healthy and not to be injured. So, especially if you're doing some type of HIIT or lifting heavy weights, you need to know where your core is. You need to know how you're doing the exercise, how to properly move your body so that you can stay healthy and keep doing the things that you love. And if you want to do that, Pilates will be your teacher. It will teach you how to move properly, how to lift the weights properly. It will also rebalance the body. So if you're doing some exercises that require a lot of repetitive motion using just certain muscles, Pilates is going to correct that imbalance. So it's basically to keep people healthy and keep them doing what they love to do for as long as they want to do it.
Now, Pilates is able to fit into that groove and provide that because, remember, now you're the expert, so correct me. I'm just going to lay this out there. Based upon what we've been talking about, Pilates is going to be able to do that because it's connecting the person more to their mind and body and their ability to be flexible.
Mm-hmm. So it's moving your body in all directions, right? It's not a repetitive, repetitive movement in one range of motion, but it's also when you put the whole method together, meaning you use the equipment as well. The equipment also teaches your body how to move properly, how to work properly, how to engage properly. And so we actually say in Pilates, we use spring-loaded equipment. The equipment uses springs.
Mm-hmm.
You can think of it this way. Springs actually give you muscle. They help you. So as you get more advanced, we take them away and then you're using your body properly. But the springs are actually giving your body feedback on how to work properly, how to work evenly as well, right? Like maybe the right side is stronger than left, but when you're using those springs, they're giving your body automatic feedback on how to work more together, more evenly.
So the body is not under any given measured or intense duress because of stressing one side to the other, one given muscle or the other, but you're able to strike a balance and still work on muscles that are, often not used or often unseen, which leads to an injury.
Absolutely. Okay. Yes. And so you're also stretching while you strengthen. So it's basically going to keep your body healthy and strong from head to toe. And then from there, you can do whatever else you want. You like to do HIIT, you like to run, you like to do that. You're going to be able to do that without the injury, without the time off, without the surgery.
This has been mind-blowing for me to the point that I am going to go eat healthy right now. I really am.
I love it.
I really am. For at least 2 seconds. And then I'm going to, no, I'm just kidding. I am not, that's not what I'm going to do. Look at, everyone keeps coming in, but we cannot stay forever, everybody. But you can like, comment, share, follow. Like, comment, share, follow, and spend money with
Tila Pilates. Find me on Instagram. I'm also on Aloe Moves.
Anywhere else? Plug anything else. This is it.
Well, we also have my studio coming up, but I will put that in the comments.
Okay.
That website is under construction.
Got it. Okay, so website under construction, everybody. Please make sure that you are not a stranger to what you need to do when it comes to Pilates, because I learned a lot today. And it's only because I wanted to learn something from you. You made it so easy. Oh, my goodness. Somebody just popped up a paragraph out of the corner of my eye. I just saw it at the last minute. Anyhow, I just want you to know I truly appreciate what you have provided. It has been one big helpful discussion today. So enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And everybody, please, we'll see you again soon later this week. Say goodbye. Everybody sending love. There you go. I was waiting for it. Everybody, you're crushing it. They're telling thank you. I knew it was coming. If I give them a chance to type it fast enough, they can tell you goodbye. All right. We'll see everybody later. Thank you, my dear friend. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.